I think it's remarkable and more than a little frightening that we put words from the Bible up and say, this is what God said. Even if you ignore the fact that it's 3,000 years old, even if you ignore the fact that it was 40 different authors and that it was written over the space of 1,000 years, even if you ignore the fact that it was assembled and reassembled, you have the Council of Nicaea that took books in and took books out, and even if you assume that all the copies are exactly the same, which they're not, even if you presume that all of those things were God-breathed, right? Because that's what people say. Well, I know it's true because it was God-breathed or God-inspired. Even if you account for all of that, the second that you translate that into another language, such as English, you are interpreting the text. And then to back up and say that the entire scriptures are infallible and God-breathed as you interpret them is frankly to presume that you yourself are infallible in your interpretation of it. For instance, the word father or Abba means something different to you and you and you than it does to me. Even the word father, that single word, means something very different to each person. So when you read it in a text, you can't tell me that you're reading the same thing I am. I think I need to have some I need to have marriage counseling with the Bible for a while and get to a place where I'm allowed to engage it as a collective myth story of God. And I don't mean myth in the sense that it's untrue. I mean myth in the sense that it's an ongoing story worth telling. I approach other mythology with a sense of awe and a sense of reverence and respect for the culture that engages it, but at the same time, I don't approach it as if it is absolute dominating truth. So if I'm going to watch a creation play of, American Indians and hear about the Great Spirit and the hawk and the holes in the sky and all that, I'm going to engage that and say, wow, their telling of their God story has so much things that are true for them. It probably has truth for me. But what I don't do is I don't go into it and go, okay, so there's a Great Spirit and there was a hawk and then he poked some holes in the sky, and and I don't need to. And I think about the Bible the same way. I don't need to believe that everything literally happened as it said it did. The ark, Adam and Eve, creation in 7 days. I am looking for the story behind the story in the Bible. When I can approach it like that and not this power source of paramount importance to everything we do, then I can go back to the Bible.